She's not having to pay for her food.
Well, obviously.
She can wash her clothes.
When you're in a 5-star resort, you shouldn't pay for this. Isn't all exclusive resort. I mean, come on, man. You've heard of beaches? This is Brent and Lucy's. You get the 5-star treatment. Welcome back to the podcast. We're so happy to have you back here with us. You're back here with Brent and Lucy. Babe, what's happening? What do you think's going on?
You know, I have a question. What do you think happens to our children when they graduate high school and go to college? And they're at college for a time, and then they come back to visit, and stuff is everywhere.
I mean, they're just not keeping on top of their stuff. They're not organized. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just wondering where all the training went. You know, you train a kid up all these years to clean up after themselves, make sure their space is tidy. And then you send them off to college. And then they come back. And then you wonder, outside of the classes they're taking, what's happening to the training with that we have put into them all these years?
That is a good question. And I guess, should we give some context on why we're even talking about this?
I think we should give some context.
All right. So for you guys that maybe have not been listening to the podcast, or maybe this is your first time, we currently have one of our children in college. So she's in college.
Almost 20.
Yeah, she's almost 20. She's been there for about a year, living in the dorms, doing her thing, doing her adulting, as I like to call it. And it sounds like when we're talking to her, like things are working out great, things are awesome, and she's getting everything all figured out. She's doing great in school. I mean, let's just say that. She's like fantastic as far as academically in her school, and she's managing her stuff. No complaints.
It's the life skill part that I question now.
Well, the thing is, like, the picture's pretty. Like, it's awesome. And we're so excited for them. I say them because her and her boyfriend came over. Like, we're so excited for them to come and visit, and it's awesome, and we look forward to that. And like the first day, awesome, wonderful, like it's good.
Well, it's not to say that it wasn't a good visit, because
the relationship is new. It's new. It's brand new. The bubblies, everything's great.
You mean the first day they're here?
Well, I was trying to paint a better picture.
Okay.
Yes. Well, no, it's good. I don't want to paint the wrong picture, but what I'm trying to say is, like, you have a little more grace and mercy for the first day. And then the second day, you're like, okay, guys, let's try to get back into the swing of things. And by day 3, the swing just kind of swung and never came back down. And I start to wonder, like, what happened? Like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Is this our daughter? Like, we didn't function this way when you were here full time.
It's almost like she forgot what we did when she was here.
And again, I like to give like context, because it's not like crazy, like totally nuts, but what I'm talking about is dishes, like dishes upon dish. I'm pretty sure I saw every piece of our dishware over this past 7 days. Is that what it was? A week?
It was like 7 days.
Yeah, right at a week. I've seen every piece of dishware that I didn't even know we had. Like, it just appeared like a gift from the Lord.
Some dishes that we don't really pull out too often.
Ever.
Again. It was a good visit. I'd like for them to come and visit with us. And I say them because since she's had a boyfriend, they typically come down together.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like for them to visit. We have great conversations. Always learn a little bit more about the boyfriend, which,
as a constant.
He's
definitely constant.
Nice kid and very respectful, but the dishes.
And it's not just seeing the dishes. It's the dirty dishes.
Well, yeah.
And the sink being full of dishes. I believe, like, this is a test from the Lord for myself, growing that fruit of patience, because every time I go to the sink, there's a dish that needs to be cleaned.
Well,
and then it multiplies. It's like it's like a heavenly treat that just like God just multiplies it for me.
I think God continuously works on us. like on our
Oh, I
patience
know he's working on my patience.
and grace and mercy and love and
Mm.
reminding us of the relationships because that's what I try to keep in mind is the relationships. I don't want to be a nag the whole time,
Oh
like
no, you don't be an egg.
you know, dirty counters and stuff. And I will say
So
that
mine was the dishes. Yours were the dirty counters. I
just
see.
no, mine was the whole thing,
Well, the floors. We didn't even get to the floors
the
yet.
floor, the whole thing. The whole
Yeah,
thing is a thing for me.
the whole thing.
But I will say this go around when we asked her to clean up, she went back and cleaned up.
But
Not okay. Hold
I was
on.
gonna say,
It's not going to be to the degree that you clean.
okay, when you say degree, I just want some effort.
There
I
was
mean,
that. Okay, see, there was effort.
different perspectives. I
I
know.
would say there was effort,
Okay.
but they're not going to clean everything to the degree that we clean.
So when you say a degree, like would 1 degree be a degree? Is that all we're looking for? Is just like
I don't
1 degree?
I'm just saying, like, I know, like, for me,
I felt like a hotel. I feel like a hotel. Is that wrong?
that
To say that with your
yes,
kids?
that's wrong.
To feel like a hotel? I mean, we make the bed for them, put little mints on their
We
pillows,
did not make the bed for them.
fold it down
Stop.
for them, tuck them in at night.
No,
You're so precious.
no. It's just the element of like just clean up after yourself. Like, you get off from the couch and everything's all over the place. So just kind of tidy it back up.
Okay.
But
As you're speaking, I'm saying you got your things too. It wasn't just me because I thought for a minute maybe it's just the dad in me that.
well, you can be Shrek from
Oh,
time to
hold
time.
on a minute.
You can be a
You
little
said you were gentle and kind, and now I'm Shrek.
Shrek
I
from
remember
time
the
to
last
time.
podcast when I said something about Fiona, and you're like, "What are you talking about?"
You can be a little Shrek from time to time.
Wow. I don't
However,
know if that's a good thing. Is that a good thing? I mean, it's a great movie, but it's
you like the movie. It's
I
one of
do.
your favorites.
Well, it is one of my favorites.
So my thing is, I wonder how many other people
I'd
kind of
like to.
deal with the same stuff.
Well, I'd like to know. So, if you are listening to this podcast, and I don't even know what we're going to title it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be something awesome. If you have kids that have been away to college that have come back, let us know your experience.
I would love to know.
Like, hit the comments, email us,
Like,
the
are we
link.
unreasonable? Because I really was trying to keep the nagging
You
to
did
like a minimum.
I think you did a great job myself. I really do. I
I
mean,
like.
you
I
held it.
really wanted to be very graceful.
You held it together. Holy Spirit, you
Yeah,
held it together.
I was trying. I was trying not to nag and keep it in check because I care about the relationships.
Mm.
I don't want them to decide that they don't want to come visit
Well, I
anymore.
don't want that either, but it's kind of like herding cats, man. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, it's just difficult. And, you know, I guess maybe it's unrealistic expectations because when you gently, like, hey, you might want to clean your dishes, you would hope, oh, yeah, like maybe they forgot. Like, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I forgot.
Okay.
And there they go. Not even they. I got more my daughter, which I think is what this stings the most is like, how we roll around here and we're clean up after you go kind of people. And if I kind of mention, hey, maybe you might want to like right then and there, is that wrong? Like, is that wrong?
Well, okay. So you're remembering when she used to live here and she was yet to become an adult.
Okay.
That, our expectation was, hey, you use it, you clean it. You use it, you clean it,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. Or you use it, you lose it. You don't pick it up, it's gone.
So now that she's been on her own,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you said a year, but it's actually been longer because she just started her second year there.
Okay.
But I think, I don't know if, I'm working on adjusting expectations because they're, hold on, adjusting expectations a little. So you're not like a nagging host the whole time.
I don't think I was a nagging host.
Well, no, you don't say anything.
Wow.
You just walk away, you stay silent, and you give me the look.
Because I'm working it out with the Holy Spirit. That's what's happening.
So I am kind of left to be the messenger.
Because you say it so much nicer than I would. You do. You got a nicer delivery, but we got to say, if something's going to come out of it, you have a way of delivering it nicely.
I just want to know if, like, are we being unreasonable?
We might have unrealistic expectations, because, with talking to our daughter and just hearing her perspective, she's on vacation. So she expects the 5-star resort treatment.
Oh, stop it.
Come on. She expects a 5-star resort treatment.
You better hope she's not listening to this.
hey, if you are listening, I love you, and you know this is all tongue in cheek, but really, I need you to pick up after yourself. I mean, we raised her to
Mm.
be a princess, and I just think this is her princess tendencies that are coming out. And I'm glad her boyfriend is saying this because guess what?
Well, he was washing some dishes after her too, so
Well, because he's the prince coming up in training, so he's going to have to pick up the slack at some point. Like when I walk her down that aisle one day, I'm going to hand her off to it may be him. So he's got to know what he's in store for.
well, I just know that our job when people come to stay with us is to be hospitable.
Of course, yes, of course.
So
We
I
don't
was
want our kids now to come see us.
that's what I mean. So I
So
just
hopefully people aren't getting the wrong idea. I mean, this is a lot of tongue in cheek and a lot of truth at the same time.
well, I'm sure that
We can't be the only ones.
we're not the only ones.
There's not.
No way that we're the only ones.
Yeah, we really want to hear from you guys because
But then we also have to keep it in perspective because here are like what he's like 23,
Mhm.
23 and she's almost 20.
Yeah.
And you're 50 and
wow,
I'm 46. Like we have way different expectations of what
clean.
yes.
Okay.
So we have to remember that. Of course, it doesn't mean we just let people, come and tear up the house and everything's fun.
No.
Like we're not going to do that. But I think I have to say that they did a little bit of a better job this go around as far as like cleaning up. Okay, it wasn't to the degree again that you wanted or that I desired. However, it's a little better than the last
Okay,
time.
how do you like what from last time are you gauging to this time? Because I must have been on a whole different. Was I on vacation that last time? Like, did I miss it?
Maybe it's just my mom heart. I don't know.
Were you feeding me sweet tea to keep me comatose so I wouldn't pay attention? What
Maybe
was happening? I must have missed something because
maybe it was my mom heart. I don't know. But
hey,
I
man,
mean, I
you're-
get it. It was kind of like, when you have, people in your space, you're not really doing your routine stuff like you usually do. So that kind of throws you off a little bit and you get a little Shrek. It's okay. I
it
still
sounds
love
like you're
you
talking to me again. I don't.
for both of
I
us.
was gonna
Like
say.
it's just the routine's not there. So, but I love when they come to visit.
Mhm.
Just love hearing about what's going on in their life. And
I love when they come to visit too, and I would love, a little more teamwork. Wash your dishes. A little more teamwork.
I mean, I agree with you, but I do think that you approach things a little bit more dad,
Oh,
and,
as I should.
and it's different than moms.
Okay,
I think moms have a little bit more grace.
as they do. Yes.
They still got the nurturing thing, and
All right. So consensus is we love it when they come visit. Right? We're in agreement.
yes,
All right. Thumbs up. We're in agreement. We love when they come visit. However, it's nice to get back to routine as well. Like, and we shared it in the podcast before, so this is nothing crazy. There comes a time when our little birds are meant to fly out of the nest to do their thing, to spread their wings.
I think that's why, because God's growing them up to be their own individual, adult, to learn how to do things on their own. And when they come home, it's almost like they are kind of relaxing because they're home and they remember when they were kids and mom and dad are here and they're taking care. So I think that's what it is.
Mm.
I mean, that's just me.
Sounds good.
I mean, don't you?
What?
That is what like they feel comfortable. There's a comfort level, and
It-
I keep saying they because I know she comes with her boyfriend and he's been here a few times.
Yeah.
So now there are they. Now it's not just her.
Yeah, that's good.
But I think it is a place of comfort where she can come. She's not having to pay for her food.
Well, obviously.
She can
Again,
wash her clothes.
when you're in a
and-
5-star resort, you shouldn't pay for this.
Oh
Is an
my
all
gosh.
exclusive, inclusive, exclusive resort. I mean, come on, man. You've heard of beaches? This is Brent and Lucy's. You get the 5-star treatment. I think what we ought to do, and I'm just gonna throw this out here. Matching robes next time they come. We get matching robes. We put little initials on for them. We lay it out on the bed for them when they show up.
Okay, there's
Little slippers, little shower shoes.
let's not get it twisted.
Hey, I just want them to be comfortable.
They're hold on, they're not married, so they don't get matching anything.
Hey, if it's God's will, they may one day be married.
They may and
I'm
then
just-
and then
I'm
at
just-
that point I'll let you buy them matching robes and slippers.
Okay. Just on a serious note, and I know we're sharing, well, it's all serious, but what we're sharing, definitely do like them coming. Definitely like to see where they're at in the world and just pick their brains and see what's happening and going on. And I know you mentioned it, but also because her boyfriend,
Mm,
getting to know him a little better. Obviously, they met over at college and we've
mm,
had limited time with him, but the time we have had with him, just getting to see him as a person, his nature and his character, and just seeing how they interact with each other as well,
mm,
how they treat one another, how they serve one another, which is
mhm.
is good.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to paint this picture like, oh, it wasn't horrible. That's not what I'm getting at,
No.
but we all have room for improvement. Um, but there's been a lot of
Mm.
good in it as well. We tried to have, well, tried. I don't think we were successful every single day, but tried to have dinner together as a family, all
Almost
four
every
of us.
day.
And it's
Mhm.
kind of cool because we have my dad staying with us right now as well. So grandpa's here with us.
Mm,
Um, and being able to sit down and have dinner as a family, we do, dinner and just go around and we've even a few nights did highs and lows and talk about what we like
no, they
about.
don't like lows. They
Yeah.
only do
Oh yeah.
highs.
I know. My kids crushed me with that one.
They don't like
So
lows.
as
They
our
want
son said, mids.
mm,
We don't do lows anymore. We do mids.
mm,
But just having those moments of what they liked about the day and high points, and then doing a little devotion. We can all sit
mhm,
around and do our teen devotion
mm,
because it's really pointed at our son, but it really lands with all of us. It was just good
yeah.
because we got to incorporate our faith as
Mhm.
well. Um, because I do want her boyfriend to know, and I pray that she shared it with him as well. Is like God's not an option in
Oh,
this family.
yeah, he
Like God is
definitely
not an option, and he seems to be very receptive. And
well, I have to say, like, no, he wasn't raised a Christian. He was not raised a Christian, but it's pretty interesting how he decided from an early age that he was going to seek God out on his
mhm,
own.
no, it's admirable.
I
Even
think
even
his grandma mentioned it to him once about, God and Jesus dying for his sins, and he just took it in.
yeah. No, it's great to hear the stories. I don't share too much 'cause we don't have his permission to kinda share his story, but, um, just seeing his heart
Mhm.
and his openness to want to learn. Because
Yes.
I mean, you stay in this house, you stay at this resort, we're going to church on Sunday, then that's just kinda part of the script you sign when you come in
Yes.
because church is it's a part of our family. I mean, it's what we do, it's who we are. It's not just someplace we go,
Right.
it's what we do. And he's all about it. Like he was one of the first ones up this last Sunday, I
Yeah.
think. 'Cause we went both Sundays they were here. Well, no, the first. Did we go the first Sunday right after the storm? We did, didn't we?
Well, they've only been here one Sunday.
No, because they came on that Tuesday. Was that only one?
Yeah.
I stand corrected. See, I just missed 2 weeks. No wonder everything looks different for me. I'm in a whole nother time zone. But he was one of the first ones up, ready to go.
He's very receptive.
Waking
Mhm.
our daughter up and making sure that she's ready to go. And even our son was kind of dragging behind. So just to see that nature and character in him being respectful in that aspect, it plants good seed as we move forward and forging. So far he's getting points. I'm just gonna say from my own perspective, and I don't like to give points away very easily. I want
Mm.
you to earn them. Not that I don't love everyone, but what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Like I'm seeing good fruit so far, and I pray that continues to grow.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely been a fruitful time.
that aspect of having your
Mm.
adult children come home to visit has been great.
But it's good to see God at work in their life.
Mhm,
Once they've been out of the house for a time and then they come back and just to have the conversations to see where they're at spiritually
mhm.
and how they're incorporating that into their day to day.
Yeah,
I think it's really good.
and just sharing with them. And I know we kind of talked about it, but I don't think we wrapped this up with them because they just left a few minutes ago before we are recording this. Um, just kind of helping holding each other accountable. And I'm going to say like the three pillars, if you will: spirit, mind, and body. Like holding each other accountable physically, emotionally, and also spiritually
Mhm.
to kind of paint that plan of what's important in life and making sure that you're making those things important, like allocating time, making plans to do them, how you're going to continue to grow and nurture these areas of your life. Because
Yeah.
for their relationship, and it is a relationship because they are boyfriend and girlfriend, again, hopefully in the future, maybe advance to the next stage.
Trying to keep it like old school boyfriend girlfriend, like we sleep in separate rooms.
Yeah, I don't give anybody ideas. Yes, they're being
They,
respectful and courting. I'm going to pull out the old courting
yeah.
topic here because that's kind of what it is. Learning because I feel and I think this is safe to say they're dating to get married. And what I mean is that that's the end goal.
That's what they've shared.
That's what they've shared. So that is the end goal. They're not just dating just to waste time and just to see if this is the right person. No, they're dating to learn about each other, to learn about marriage, and to learn about God.
And I love that because that was one of the conversations we had. One of the evenings that we were having dinner together was because we had heard this recently that from a young man that had said, I don't know if it was a podcast or something. We heard that he said that there was no there's no real way to train for marriage. You train for marriage when you're in marriage.
Mhm.
And I remember hearing that. I was like, I don't agree with that.
No, I
I
don't
don't
either.
agree with that at all. I think there is a way for you to start training before you actually get into the marriage.
Yeah. I think really what he meant when he said that statement, I get where he's coming from because it's like putting the training to use, like really putting it in and exercising those resources
Well, I
as
understand
far as,
that because then you're, of course, but what are you putting into, like, what are you applying? Because you have to get some tools and resources
Mhm.
and train prior to be able to apply.
Well, with this particular daughter that we're talking about, and we do have 4 daughters and 1 son, but this particular one they're talking about, we've been working with them and giving them the tools and helping them put them to practice now before they're married, like communication, conflict resolution, like trying to set them up with the right tools and resources. So when they get married, they already got stuff in their toolbox. Like they're not learning on the job. It's not like they got the job, they showed up, hey, here's your uniforms, there's your tool bag, go do your job.
Right.
Like, no, we've given them well, they haven't got uniforms because that'd be like a wedding dress and a, the thing, the tux. But we're giving them tools for their toolbox. So when they come into marriage, they're already going to have things to pull from.
Well, and it's good because they were inquiring
Well, that's the best part.
about what to do in certain situations.
See, that's the thing that I love because you got to want it.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people want to get married. We've talked about it. People love the whole wedding idea, getting the big dress, having the big party, having everybody celebrate you. That's awesome. But what about after that?
Hmm.
Like, do you really want to know what it means to be a husband? Like, do you really want to learn real deal what it's going to look like when you're a husband?
Hmm.
And what kind of, I guess it is resources and skills are you going to need when you step in that role? Because it's not, again, when you say I do, that's not when you put the little husband pin on it. Okay, now you're a husband. You're training to be a husband prior to. And it's kind of what we talked about in the podcast previously. And the same thing for a wife.
Well, yeah, and I think the conversation went well because we kind of posed that question to them at dinner time. Do you think that you, in essence, you wait to get married to actually start
Yeah, we
to
did.
train for
Yeah,
marriage?
we did. I remember that now. Yeah.
And they both looked at each other first to make sure they understood the question, and then they were like, "No."
Yeah. I mean, it kind of sounds like a no brainer. And again, I think we're probably more focused on this because of what we do. I mean,
Right.
we do premarital counseling with couples. So that's really important to us because we've seen the statistics, we've seen the results, what it looks like when you prepare before the wedding day.
Well, we do premarital, but we do marriage counseling as well. So we do the before and the after.
Well, preferably if they're doing well, they don't need us on the after. But yes, we're available for that too.
Oh, come on now. People always have things that they need to talk through
They do.
after.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I hear what you're saying. You made me forget my whole point was.
They
But
were talking to them about that.
it's it's good for people that are going to want to make that commitment because marriage is a commitment, right? Marriage
It
is
is one of the biggest commitments.
it's meant to be a lifelong commitment, a covenant. Wouldn't you want to be prepared for that, like to the best of your ability?
You would think that they would have a class in school.
We've talked about this before.
Like, I think we should do that. Maybe we should, start kind of pitching that to schools to see if we can start a class to train kids for marriage the way the creator intended it to be.
Yeah, the designer of marriage. Go
Correct.
back to his. I don't even say game plan. That's not even right. His manual for marriage.
Hmm.
Because I told you, man, I really wish I would have had that manual and I would have been able to have someone mentor me and walk alongside me to show me the plan.
Well, that's one of the motivators, like not having that training ourselves growing up before we got married, right? Now that I feel like God has equipped us and we help equip other couples, why wouldn't we help equip our children,
Hmm.
right?
Well, ministry starts in the home.
Yes,
I mean, ministry
100%.
starts in the home. It starts with you and I as husband and wife. And it starts with our children. Like, what are we teaching them? Like the Bible says, train your children in the way they should go, and when they're old, they will not depart from it. Proverbs
22:6.
22:6. Thank you. See, that's how we work. I just said, and then you got it. That's the real deal. And as it pertains to marriage, we're really intentional on training our children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, we haven't done it all perfect, and I apologize to my kids, that the older ones, because I didn't know what I didn't know in the moment earlier on. But
Right.
now, once we found it, it's a non-negotiable now.
Hey, but they know we make mistakes.
Well, what I'm getting at is that now that we know, we can't go back.
Right.
Like, we just can't let things just kind of flutter out there and hope, oh, they'll figure it out. Somebody will tell them. No. We're taking that ownership, and we're gonna show them and teach them what that looks like, right? Because at the end of the day, you and I are going to be standing before God. Well, I'll be standing by myself, and you'll be standing by yourself.
Yes.
And we're going to have to give an account to what we've done with what He's given us. Our
Yes.
children are one of those things that He's given us for a time. They belong to Him, but He has given us to manage them and train them and to grow them, right? So we're going to be responsible for what we did with the time that we had with Him.
Well, I have to say, I'm super proud of some of the conversations and some of the stuff that came out of them throughout that conversation, because they are having some of the tough conversations and whatnot now. So I think as they lean into God,
that
to get the other side of it,
Mhm.
that they're definitely going to come into that alignment. And if their plan is, marriage down the line, I pray that they're doing it with God in the center, just like we've taught them.